They don't see that it was clearly listed on the website. They think it's rude to make them wait in line. They can't believe you won't be open this Sunday. They think you're the crazy one. They're not normal customers, oh no. They are the Patronarchy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Patronarchy. We're open for business and ready to talk about the customers that didn't want good service, they wanted good servitude. I'm your host, Vis, and thank you for clicking on the video. Really appreciate it. Hope you're going to have a good time. And here with me is a friend and former coworker who we've definitely been through some crazy nights together at our former job. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Emeline.
Hey, I'm Emeline, and I definitely worked with you.
Yes.
For years. I am no longer involved in that very traditional customer service approach.
No.
But I now work in childcare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Instead of that movie theater vibe.
Yeah, the movie theater. I've mentioned on the show before I have worked at a movie theater, and Emily is definitely one of my coworkers there. We worked together for many years, and one of the reasons why I brought her on because Emily was never like we. I'm sure we both have those co-workers that we wish we didn't have to work with, but thankfully for me, I definitely made a lot of good ones over the years, and Emily was definitely one of them. She was one of the people I never had to worry about, like, oh god, do I have to like run to concession and fix this shit, like, you know. Emily was usually the one on top of things, which was always really good. But anyway, but Emeline has, done many jobs, since then. And she's definitely got some stories for us. Stories that I have not heard, because I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a few years.
It's been a few years, tack on the pandemic. Yeah, it's definitely been a few years. But anyway, Emeline, if you're ready, tell us about your encounters with the Patronarchy.
So my favorite horrible customer service story ever is actually a movie theater story.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. This is I may have not been there for this. I'm not sure.
It was a Monday night, which meant it was customer hell because it was, discount night.
Discount night at the theater, yeah.
And we had just come out of a set, and this woman comes up to the concession stand and she starts yelling at Mariah and I. And she and I were in charge of the stand that night. And she's like, you guys were super racist. And we were like, well, what did we do? I'm going to need you to elaborate.
Yeah, yes. I think that's the best follow-up question for that.
What can you share?
Yeah.
And she goes, you were part of a conspiracy theory to, saturate my popcorn with butter because I'm black. And we were like, hold on, there's more here. Also, wait, what?
This is a whole new layer of the racism onion I'm seeing here. Okay.
And for reference here, Mariah is a black girl.
Yes, Mariah is black, yeah.
And she and I have been friends for years, but it was just, we're sitting there and we're going, hold on, what?
Yeah.
This seems like questionable racism, for
yes.
starters. Also, neither of us recognized this woman. She's like, no, you. And she's pointing to me at the time, and she's going, you did this on purpose because I'm black, and it leaked through my bag, and you have to replace my pants. And you did this all because I am a black woman, and it's part of a thing. And this is why O.J. Simpson was never elected president, and why Barack Obama will never become president. And at the time, he is president.
Right.
And just, for reference there. Because she's apparently not hip with the times.
If I didn't know you better, I'd say you're making this shit up right now.
No.
This is like
and Mariah and I are just looking at each other like, is this woman, like, what the hell is happening right now? Is she serious?
This sounds like something out of a sitcom where one of the characters is making up shit because they're in a really weird situation, like, or something. Oh my god, I'm sorry, continue.
She keeps talking. And about how this has been happening for years. How, like, white people have been trying to get at at the black people population, and it's all a butter-based conspiracy.
Did she really say those words?
Yes!
I'm like, okay.
It's a butter-based conspiracy, man.
I don't know what to say, because, okay, so first, right off the bat, racism. It's
Racism,
real.
bad.
Bad. Real in America. It is an issue, even after having a black president, still an issue. I don't think there's anything.
Solve anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything politically
high.
Yeah, like I'm not taking
protests over the past summer.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
Needed to take place. Still need to take place.
And I've heard a lot of like racist stereotypes that are used against black people. Like Dave Chappelle used a lot of these, to make fun of like cultural and racial stuff in Chappelle's show, like the fried chicken, watermelon, all that kind. He used that, and I'd never heard of the butter thing. This is a new one for me. Like, I don't know. Like,
I have no idea, man.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Apparently was like, because I asked for butter halfway through my bag of popcorn. By the way, these bags of popcorn were maybe
right. This is deal day where you got the little bag of popcorn for free.
These tiny bags of popcorn for free. She's like, I asked for it halfway through my popcorn, and then on top, and we're like, well, those do tend to leak through.
Yeah.
Because it's it's a paper bag with 3 grains of popcorn in it, man. She's like, no, this has never happened to me before. It happened because I'm black. It's a conspiracy. And we're like, ma'am, can you stop throwing the word conspiracy around? Like, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
And it was just like the fact that she like repeatedly brought up the fact that this is why O.J. Simpson will never be elected. And we're like, he never ran for office.
Yeah, even if he did, like the friggin' trial put an end to that. I mean,
ma'am, he's not a politician. He was a football player.
Yeah. And then a few years later, he got arrested because he was stealing back some of his old memorabilia from, I mean, she doesn't know that at the time, but still, I mean, this is so, wow, okay.
It was just like are you on drugs?
Yeah.
Like, it was just the kind of thing where we're both just sitting there going, like, what's happened? And it was the kind of moment where we just had to listen. Because what else were you going to do?
Exactly. There's like, how do you...
You can't just go, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Because that just is going to get worse. Okay. And eventually she just ended up leaving because we were like, we don't have a pair of pants for you back here.
Right.
Like, I think we just ended up giving her like a new bag of popcorn and sent her on her way. Okay. Because, like, I think that's what she ultimately wanted.
Yeah,
But it was just like the fact that it took 20 minutes of her... rambling, but Obama's never going to become president. Ma'am, he is the president.
Yeah. Like, what?
Can you just... What?
Yeah, that it already happened. Like, I don't...
And he was president for like 4 years at that point.
Okay,
he had been reelected.
I don't know even how to, like, come... I'm trying to come at this because it's like, okay, we're talking about...
You try to come at it logically and there's no logical answer.
I am. I'm trying to like, obviously, I think this is if I have to think, I think this is a case of this woman is royally pissed and frustrated about something else going on in her life.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not saying this is like the crazy woman thing. This happens with men, women, whatever gender you identify with.
Yes.
Anybody could do it. It is like, or somebody, they're royally pissed off, frustrated, sad and depressed about something else in their life, and they're taking whatever that energy is and they're channeling it into something that has nothing to do with it. I think this is like, is projecting the proper term I'm looking for here? I think she's projecting, and she projected it
in the weirdest way possible.
Yeah, she projected it via a butter filter at you guys, and just don't even...
Two 16-year-olds.
Yeah. So this is like a while ago. I'm sure you told me about this back in the day when it happened.
I've definitely told you about it.
I definitely
because it's my favorite, like, what the hell.
How did I forget this? Well, I'll never forget it now. We have it on videos. This will live forever. Even on my YouTube channel, it gets taken down for some reason because I do have some copyrighted videos. Well, I fair use. I use that for fair use. I also do some film reviews on this channel if you guys are interested. But I'll do it in fair use. But wow, I don't even know. Like that is. First off, I just gotta say, great story to start off with.
Thank you.
But I just, the butter bitch of the cinema. I don't know, like I said, there's plenty of things like stereotypes that black people have to deal with, in our culture, and that sure. I've heard of plenty of them. But the butter one, that one, if there's any black people watching this video right now, is butter a real over buttering popcorn a real thing? Because it's the first time I've heard about it. If it is, let us know down in the comments.
Is there a butter-based conspiracy?
Yes. It's the government using butter against the black community.
And are teenagers in on it? Because no one told me.
Yes.
Was I supposed to be in on something?
I guess we're in on it now, whether we want to be or not. She's made it real. It's in the world. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know how to segue. So I'll just say, if you're ready, after you take your little sip of water there.
Yes.
I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day, probably the rest of the week. Oh, wow.
I've always thought about that story. It's never left me.
I don't blame you. How could you, like, oh my God, like, there's some, like, eventually, like I said, I've told one or two stories so far in the past couple episodes we've done. And one day I'll definitely just do, like, an episode of just me talking about my stuff. Maybe I'll have, you know.
Well, you have had some crazy...
I have had some crazy stories. I even not plenty from the cinema because I worked at the cinema for many years.
All my crazies are from the cinema.
The cinema is this great. Here's what makes the cinema, working at a cinema, great for stories like this. You know, not that working at cinema didn't have its good days.
I loved working at the
yeah, I did too. I mean, I'm a big movie person. I got to meet a lot of great people. Emeline, as I said, Emeline was one of the best people I ever worked with, and I'm not just saying that because she's. I'm not just saying that because she's here. I've literally told people, like, you know, Lainey, who I'm going to try to get on the show
awesome.
at one point, Aubrey, you know, like plenty of great people. Yeah. Aubrey.
I love her.
Yeah, Aubrey's great, you know. But I think what makes the cinema great is it's one of those businesses where you not only get a convergence of you get a convergence of like middle class and upper class people. Because where our cinema was, it was kind of between near both a middle class neighborhood and an upper class neighborhood. So you got
the lower class bus lines.
The lower class bus lines. So we
got everyone.
We got everyone, and you would think. Oh, I said this in a previous episode before, but you think like the idea is like, oh, all the upper class people have this high privilege. Like even some middle class and lower class people have this privileged idea of what at a business what they're owed. And I've said it before. The show is not about coming down on people that go to a place and they want a good experience, where at the bar, restaurant, the cinema, wherever. This is about the people who have unusual expectations. That's what we're here to relate about and, you know, just vent about. That's what this is about. You know, if a company or an employee screwed up, you have a complaint. You have a legitimate complaint. That's fine. But with the cinema, because everybody goes to see a movie, you know, whether you don't make a lot of money, you can only see a movie every once in a while, or you do, you can see it like once a week or more. You get everybody there. So you get all these different things coming at it, and all these different, you know, financial classes, you know, and walks of life from, you know, like...
those teenage boys, man.
Teenagers in general, for me, that was like... I have a legit, like, scary, like... It was a scary story for me, and it involved teenagers. That it was like this huge brawl that happened. I'll save that for another... I'll save that for another...
Teenagers are terrifying.
They are. I think we discussed
Even
this.
as a teenager, they're terrifying.
Oh my God. It's just, yeah. Because teenagers, you're at that point where, like, your emotions are starting to come under control because you're about to become an adult, but you're not quite an adult, so everything's still intense.
Also, there are no repercussions.
Not really. We had a roving, like, it was like Mad Max style. It was like a roving band of, like, teenagers that would come through the area.
Those kids were scary.
They were, because they just, like, what are you going to do about it? We're going to leave in a minute. And, like, they'd get kicked out of the cinema, and then they would go to McDonald's.
Come back.
They'd come back, because after they get kicked out of the Walmart. That was what they do. We would get, like, our managers
do the mall run.
They do the mall run.
Keep coming back.
The various managers at the mall where this cinema was, they would keep track of the various businesses. Like, we would get a call from Giant Eagle. The manager would be like, okay, they just left the Giant Eagle? Which way are they heading? Towards the McDonald's? Okay. Are you going to call the McDonald's? I'm like, our managers were literally in communication with the other businesses.
And the security guards.
Because they had to keep track of it. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like this set gang of, like, you know, like,
they were like 10 high school boys.
Yeah, like a few of the girls that would hang out with them or something.
Yeah, their dates.
Yeah. But
they'd all get in fights in the parking lot.
Exactly. It was one particular thing. And then
come on, guys, read a book, get a hobby.
Yeah, and then the several times
learn macrame.
Yeah, and then there was a few times where they went nuts in like the movie theater, and I've got a couple. Especially on Mondays, because it's cheap. It's discount day.
15-year-olds can come up with $5 each.
Yes, they can. All right, so Story number 2.
Story number 2.
What do you got? I'm interested now. I don't know where we're going to go from there.
It's all going to come down.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm trying to think here. I had a guy who would come every senior day, because I always worked senior days.
Okay.
Every senior morning was me. And he would come with his grandchildren without fare. And you think this is like a positive, cool, hip bonding thing.
Yeah.
Right? This guy's probably 70. He always wore a shirt that said like Paps, grandkids or whatever, and it had pictures of his grandkids.
Oh, okay.
And without fail, this guy would say, "Hey, honey, you want to come home with me?" Or something to that effect. And meanwhile, for reference here, I'm 16.
Yes.
And I look it.
Yeah. Yeah, Emily. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, she knows. Like, I'm sure some of you are saying Emily is older than she looks at the time.
I'm 24.
She's 24 right now, but but you look a little younger than you are. But,
I'm 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I'm.
And when you were 16, you looked like you were 12.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a problem that's come up to you many times in your life, but.
We had a manager who frequently referred to me as the jailbait of the.
Yeah.
Because these old guys would always hit on me.
Yeah.
But this guy with his grandkids without wearing a shirt with his freaking grandkids every Thursday. "Honey, you want to come home with me? Honey, you want to get in my car?
Oh.
You want to give me that ticket for free? Honey." I'm like, I don't know you, sir.
Oh my God. Like, he would like. Would he do it and then be like, "Okay, grandkids, go over to play the video games," or would the grandkids be right there?
They'd be right there going, Pap, can I have some M&Ms?
Okay, like, so it's not a conspiracy, but it's still bad. Oh my God.
It was completely different spectrums here.
Yeah. And, oh wow, so
and I would be there going, no.
Yeah.
Go away.
Oh my God, like, why?
No.
See, that's why I've never tried to hit on, like, if I've ever been out, like, at a place, even if I saw, a woman that I was like, wow, she's really pretty, or super cute, or like, damn, she's hot. I never hit on them if they're working, because
you can't say no.
Yeah,
I mean, you can, but like,
well, yeah,
you can't.
But at the same time, even if I would never like say like, "Hey, I'm gonna take it for free." That would never be my approach. I'd never be like, "You want to check out my car?"
First of all, that's how you get abducted.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's not a van. It used to be a van, but I chopped the top off and I covered it in cellophane.
I mean, for reference here, a lot of the time I was, going on break, taking a class because I did cyber school, and then coming back.
About that.
And without fail, I got this guy every week.
Damn.
There was a lot of the time, or not a lot of the time, but some of the time Mike ended up like, he was the manager at the point.
Oh, don't say people. Oh, we can say, I don't think Mike would care. Yeah.
And he'd notice this guy, and at some points he'd see this guy come in and he'd just send me to the back after a while because he was like, "This guy's really creepy. You can't. We need to stop this."
Yeah. Mike was a really good manager for us. So I'm glad he this is something that came up in last episode with my buddy with Mike on, when it's always great, like, dealing with the public can be tough enough, but if you got a bad manager, it sucks.
It's
but
the worst.
If you got a good manager that's got your back, it's like, at least I have that, and you can kind of relax after a situation, because it's that sense of okay,
they're not throwing you to the wolves.
No. But oh my God,
it was very much like this is not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, at one point, this guy, Mike pulled him aside. He was like, "She's 16. You need to stop."
Oh, okay. Confronted him directly. Okay, good.
Yeah, he's like, "That's not okay. She's going back there."
Yeah.
And he kept doing it.
Oh my God. In front of grandkids. Like, it's bad enough that he's doing to you, a young teenage woman, right? And then in front of the
kids who are under 5, for reference here, because it's a Thursday morning.
Right.
Year round.
Were they a couple of boys, couple of girls?
A boy and a girl, if I recall correctly.
Boy and a girl. Okay, so it's bad enough doing it with grandkids, but when they're that young and the way he's acting, like, I'm gonna get it. Like, I'm not like you work with children, so you'll be able to know. You do. So she went to school for it. She knows what you're talking about. So you can correct me on this, but I feel like because little kids, their brains are like sponges. For him to act like that in front of them, he's saying this weird example for them. Like, he's setting an example for like the boy, like it's okay to act like this.
It's okay to treat women like this. It's okay to treat people like
exactly.
this.
And the little girl is taking this in. It's like, oh, okay, this is how interactions. This is how like guys will interact with me. This is how I.
I mean, he's setting that same precedent for both of them. Honestly,
I know.
It's okay for people to treat you like this, and it's okay to treat people like this for both of you, and it's just really gross.
It is. Wow. Oh man. I know this is years ago. I'm sorry that happened to you. I just want to say that, but this is a I wonder if he still goes there, and he's got a new Emeline. He's like
some other teenager.
The kids are like 10 years old now, and they're starting to realize their grandpa's a perv. I'm like, Grandpa, just get the popcorn. Shut up. So how about that ticket already?
Grandpa, we just want to see the movie. Please stop hitting on the child.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay, so isn't the weird thing about this show? It's like, you've brought so far 2 good stories, but the stories, like,
they're not good stories,
They're not good stories. They're good stories for this show, but they're bad experiences. Yeah. I missed you. Anyway. All right. So, you got one more story for us?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is okay. Emeline, give us the final story you got for us for this episode.
Do you want another movie theater story, or do you want a non-movie theater story?
Well, we've done a lot of movie theater, and I plan to have other coworkers of us from the theater on at some point because, like I said, I worked there for many years, so I made a lot of friends while I was there. So let's move away from the because. Who knows? I might have you back on someday and you can just tell more.
I do have a vault.
I do. That place, like, I
did, work 50 Shades.
Yeah. I remember 50 Shades. Oh, God. Oh. You weren't there for Hannah Montana. That was hell of a...
I was not there for Hannah Montana.
Now showing how old I am. But anyway, so, final story, Emeline. What do you got for us?
I am a nanny. So, I work alone with young children.
Right.
And my most recent job was for a family with young kids, and they were fraternal twins.
Oh, okay.
They were really cool. They just moved away, but I took them to the park almost basically every day, rain or shine, and there was this man who would show up at the park without fail every day with his dog off leash in a non-off leash area, I might add. Because rules, those are for suckers.
Can you see the foreshadowing here?
And he would walk through the children's playground instead of, the trails, the dog-friendly area, the woods, any other place where you might want to have your dog. I don't know. That's not my place to judge. But he would walk through, and he's this guy who's probably 60 or something. Okay. And he would walk through this kid's park every day with his dog off leash and go up to the children and say, "Hey, you want to pet my dog? She's really friendly." And instead of talking to, I don't know, their adults and saying, "She's really friendly. Would your kid like to pet my dog?" And also, this dog was not freaking friendly. She barked at every freaking kid. And all us other nannies...
His entire pitch is falling apart already.
It fell apart before his eyes every day. And he did this every day. And he would just go up to the kids. "Want to pet my dog? Want to pet my dog?" And all the other nannies, anytime we saw him, we were like, we got to find our kids. Like, now.
Children, where are you?
Basically, because we never knew what this guy was going to do. It was creepy as hell. And, even when I'd walk on the trails, sometimes this guy would, find us. He would go out of his way to, find the kids and be like, "You want to pet my dog?" And I'm like, "No, my kids don't want to pet your dog." Have you heard of a dog park?
Yeah. Go meet people there.
Go find someone your own age to hang out with a dog. Don't go talk to my kids about
Did he ever come
dog.
up to the nannies ever?
No!
Okay, so he's particularly, either he thinks he's being overly kind to these kids, or the other thing we're all thinking about.
The thing we're all thinking that we're all afraid of.
Yes.
Yeah!
Damn!
And, he'd come up to me sometimes if, the kids were at my hip, and he'd be like, "Do they want to pet my dog? She's really friendly." And I'm like, "I've seen your dog bark at kids every day of this month. I don't agree." Also, my kids are clearly not into your dog. They're hiding behind me.
Yeah.
Or they're saying the phrase, give dog space, give dog space. Like, does that give you the impression they want to pet your dog?
What the fuck? Oh, wow, this is how horror movies start, man. This is
Right? It's like very clearly like how a child abduction starts.
Yeah.
And it's also 100% how my husband would get abducted. Here, do you want to pet my dog? Yes.
He never learns. No.
He never learned. He'd get in the van.
Wow. It's like, this guy is trying this, like, once again, we can't say for sure he's doing what we all think he was doing.
It's like, on one hand, it could be totally like, he thinks he has a great dog. He wants kids to pet him. He loves kids.
It could be, he could be just
completely nice.
It's a completely innocent thing. He's just very ignorant of the reality of the dog situation.
But also, like, why walk through the children's playground?
Yeah, it's like, I understand, like, you say, oh, there's a trail that runs by the children's playground, and every once in a while, when he does, like, he knows, like kids going doggy, doggy, doggy.
Yeah, and that's totally normal.
Yeah.
You know all the parts of, like, Frick Park, Highland Park. They've all got, like, nice trail areas.
Yeah, yeah. I've lived in the area for most of my life, and so I've been through them, all of them at least a couple times.
But the kids' playground is not the same.
No.
As the trails.
No, not at freaking all.
They don't even overlap. And it would be one thing, again, if he had, like, taken a seat at, like, the pagoda area by the kids' playground to, like, have a snack or a coffee.
Yeah.
And his dog happened to be near him. There are just no pieces that add up.
No. I want to just... there's that part of me that wants to give the guy the benefit of the doubt that he's being ignorantly... ignorantly innocent and ignorantly wholesome. I want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but...
There are so many factors that are like...
Once again, I'm not saying he's doing that... He's intentionally doing that bad. I'm not making accusations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying...
There are questionable things.
Questionable things going on here. And... I don't know. Maybe take your dog to a trainer.
Right?
No. Because then if the dog was, like, super nice and friendly, like, maybe he's got...
Like, very much at his hip and very, quiet.
Yeah. Just very, like, likes to, like, lick, lick in the face, like, stuff like that. Like, cute little dog stuff.
Bark at every kid.
No.
Every kid.
Yeah, I'm just picturing
on a
this guy
playground in August.
I'm just picturing this guy, like, in his basement. He's got kids in cages, and the dog's like... like, the dog's, like, going at it, and they're, like, he has, like, Cujo playing on the TV in the background, just like, that's right, boy. That's right. He's like, and he's just... I don't know... A child killed his wife or something. I don't know.
That normal stuff.
Yeah.
Kid ran him over with the bike. The tricycle. I mean, my thing is, like, I'm a very free-range nanny, so to speak. Like, especially with twins, like, you let one of them climb up something, someone climb up the other thing, and you just stand in the middle and hope for the best.
Right.
I mean, not hope for the best, but like, keep an eye on them both.
Yeah, give an eye for them. Give them...
Stand closer to the one that's going to need more help.
Exactly. Give them breathing room where they need it.
I'm a huge fan of breathing room and letting them figure out their own thing. But then I see this guy come in with his dog every day.
I'm just picturing you, like, when you see the dog, you send the kids, like, a secret signal, like signal or something, you're like, caw, caw, like, they know that's, get the fuck over here.
I mean, I hung out with a group of other nannies for a while last summer, and there were 3 of us, and we all always knew where each other's kids were because there were 3 of us.
Right.
And it was like, one of us would see this guy and we'd be like, okay, find your kids, now. Because none of us know this guy is up to something, but it's weird. Yeah. You know, like, when you get that tingly feeling in your back?
Yeah.
It was very much like that. None of us knew anything in particular was happening, but it was just like
It's like in the movie Highlander. You can sense the approach of another immortal that wants to kill you. Oh, man. Wow. So, we started off with a crazy conspiracy theorist, and then we had back-to-back creepers. Creepers of a different variety.
Totally different creepers.
Totally different creepers with different strategies.
I've got a lot of creeper stories, man.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure the more women I probably have on the show, the more creeper stories are going to come up.
For sure.
Because guys have creeper stories, we just don't have nearly as many. And I know we don't
they're
have
different creepers.
They're different kind of creepers. Our yeah, creepers that guys have tend to be a little bit different.
I have a friend who works at a bakery.
Oh, okay.
And just told me the other day about a couple who came in.
I already know what you're about to say, I feel like.
In complete... The woman's wearing, like, a collar, harness, on a leash, and she's like, man, this is a giant eagle. There's, like, a gag situation going on. She's like, I mean, I'm not going to ask anything.
They came in bondage here?
Yes, they did. And they were, like, trying to buy a cake, and she's like, I'm not going to ask anything because I don't want to know anything, but, like...
Okay.
But, like, again, it's 9 a.m. on a Thursday.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to know, but, like, also, this is a grocery store.
I'm going to say this real quick. I have literally nothing against anybody who's into, like, bondage or S&M. I have friends who are into that stuff.
Again.
And that would be like if somebody who's not into bondage, just walked into, like, a giant eagle, half naked, and I'm wearing a condom on my dick. Like, no, it's the same thing. It's like, no, like, that's a private... I did not
consent to see all that.
No, yeah. It's not just about you guys, but, like, okay, like, you're in your... Like, it's... Well, again, if you like to do that stuff at home...
The 7-year-old also buying a cake didn't really want to see all that.
Yeah. He's got some questions now. What his dad's going to do is just like, they're shooting a movie, son. There's a movie nearby. Those are the actors. It's for the new Mad Max movie. Like
that you're too young to see.
Yeah, you can't see that. You got to wait till you're...
It's rated R.
Rated double R. So you got to wait till you're 40. Anyway.
Right? She texted me about that one and was just like, yo.
All right. Wow. Okay, I had a little extra story there at the end.
But,
yeah.
But it wasn't mine.
All right. All right. Well, Emily, once again, it's good to see you. We haven't seen each other in a while. Awesome. Thank you for the good stories. I think there's a lot of fun. I was like, wow, we had some energy in this episode. Yeah. But anyway, once again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're really busy right now. But
Chaos is my middle name.
All right. Well, anyway, for all of you watching, let us know down in the comments. Let Emeline know about what you think of her stories. Can you relate to them? Have you had similar things? I feel like it's going to be nothing but female comments in the comment section today. There's going to be a few guys. There's going to be that one guy who's like, well, I don't think he was that bad. Like, no, he was that bad. I don't care what his intentions are. It's still inappropriate, no matter which guy it was. But anyway, like, leave your comments. Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Leaving a like on videos helps out a lot more than you might think. And if you want to catch the next episode, click the subscribe button. But until then, once again, Emeline, appreciate it. And appreciate all you guys watching. Take it easy.